Warning, this video is for theory purposes only. Under no circumstances would this be considered fun to play against. This combo should only be played in non-serious games with a fully informed opponent. Enjoy. Let's be honest with ourselves here. It was really only a matter of time before the Bayou came out and took the top spot for the biggest shenanigan in the game. I think this is the first time I've been aware of an actual infinite, and I'm pretty excited about it just from a theory point of view. If anybody was to actually do this in an actual game, you'd probably clock out. I'm hoping that your event would be running clocks. But otherwise, if you weren't running clocks, you would just sit there for quite literally 20 minutes, I would imagine, while somebody just plays one player mellophone. That's not fun. So I'm going to put a big flashing disclaimer at the front of this. This is not fun for your opponent, but it is really ridiculously cool. It's consistent if you get a pit trap on the board to make this all work. So let's talk about it. We're going through infinite Bayou Gremlin summoning. You will have overlapping auras of all different kinds between Som'er, Lenny, the Spit Hog, Bo Fishbacher, and Sammy is in here just for card draw. But Sammy also has an aura that allows that to happen. So looking at it, what do we care about? Som'er's ransack ability on the front of the card with the 10-inch aura. Once per activation, before a ski marker would be removed by a friendly big hat model within 10-inch aura, that model may discard a card to summon a Bayou Gremlin or a Skeeter into base contact with the marker. Cool? Let's roll into, we got Skeeters just because they're totems. Nothing really special here. They might be able to beat up Sammy for some cards, but we'll see how that works out. Lenny, Gremlin General. For Big Hat, I mean, you're always taking Lenny anyway, but friendly models with an 8-inch aura that cheat fate using Bayou 2 card add a mask to their final duel total. Okay, so we're getting ready. We're lining it all up. Jebediah is here for the ride with me and to get a pit trap on the board. He's also Big Hat. Spit Hogs can turn corpse markers into scheme markers. So friendly models may treat corpse markers with an 8-inch aura as friendly scheme markers for the purposes of actions, abilities, and triggers. We're almost there, folks. Sammy has Petty Illusions, so once per activation after friendly kin or whiz bang, within 6-inch aura takes damage during a friendly activation. That model may draw a card, so Sammy is out a keyword here for card draw. You get Hard Knock Life, which is pretty cool. Size 1, so you can get Ride With Me. Bo Fishbacher, of course it's Bo Fishbacher. What does Bo Fishbacher not get taken in? He is a phenomenal model for the cost. He's just super good. And we're not even messing with the back of his card here. All we're caring about is Lost in the Bayou. Once per activation, after model within 6-inch aura, if it cheats fate, push it up to 1 inch in any direction after resolving the current action. So what are we doing here? We got Bayou Gremlins on the menu. We're doing infinite Bayou Gremlin summons, so let's look at them. They've got a lot going on. The idea is death by 1,000 cuts, more or less. We don't deal with Squeal. We do care about Bayou 2 card, and we do care that they are Big Hat. Insignificant does matter because that means they're not allowed to take the interact action to scoop up corpse markers being treated as scheme to summon. So we have to pull scheme markers / corpse markers off the board via their always eating trigger. And we'll get to that in a second because cannon fodder is also critical to this combo. So after this model is killed, draw a card. If this model has not started its activation this turn, the opposing player must discard a pass token if able. So we're really only going to force the second half of that once, but the rest of this, we're essentially going to give our opponent potentially infinite pass tokens, but at the price of being able to take boomstick shots potentially infinite number of times. So what are we doing here? This is going to be Bayou Gremlin on Bayou Gremlin violence all day. We're doing a bash. The idea is we would charge another Bayou Gremlin that will hopefully only be at 1 health. We will Bayou 2 card to cheat off the top of the deck, which is where Lenny comes into play. Lenny gives us a mask because we use an Bayou 2 card. The mask triggers always eating, which is remove a ski marker within 3 inches of this model, run it back, because corpse markers get counted as ski markers, run it back even more. Som'er says, before a ski marker would be removed by a friendly big hat model, think Bayou Gremlins, within 10-inch aura, that model gets to discard a card to summon a Bayou Gremlin. So they're not slow, they're not mindless, they come in with 2 activations, and when they die, they draw you a card no matter what, whether or not they've activated. We don't care. So what we're doing is kill a Bayou Gremlin, declare the always eating trigger, pull up the corpse as a scheme marker, draw a card off of the Bayou Gremlin dying, discard a card to summon a new Bayou Gremlin, give her opponent a pass token, lather, rinse, repeat. We have an extra activation at the end of it all because now Bo Fishbacher will hopefully be pushing you into a pit trap, which is where Jebediah comes into play. Ride with me, throw out a pit trap on a 6 of crows or better, and now it takes 1 activation to charge, buy you 2 card your cheat, kill, move into the pit trap after you kill, put yourself at 1, and summon another Bayou Gremlin. So there are really 2 phases to this, and let's get this out of our face and I will show you what I've done. We randomized the map, ended up on map number 32, Snow Way. We randomized the deployment, top down, or 1, 2, 3, 4 between standard, corner, flank, or wedge. We landed on standard. We randomized top, bottom, left, right. We got top, bottom, and we randomized which side do I deploy on, top or bottom. So I'm deploying on the top. All the random numbers happened the way they did. I've got my little section over here for what I'm going to be using. Our list at the top of this video had 10 extra stones left over, so this is pretty stone intensive because it's crazy and shenanigan-y, but hey, you still got 10 stones for upgrades in another model or whatever you want to do with it. Let's pull this pit trap out of the middle and get started. So what I'm looking for, what is the most important really, is getting Jebediah's 6 of crows or better. Draw a card, we found it. We got a 12 of crows. And because this list is about attrition and shooting everything within 10 inches, I'm going to simulate this against Euripides 1 for 2 reasons. 1, because he shares the 14 wound pool of just a few models in the game at this point. 14 I think is the highest we got. And additionally, he has access to intuition. So I'm going to make sure he has a 7-card hand. What we're going to be doing and when I'm simulating this is I'm going to be shooting Euri, and the rules I'm going to be applying are cheat just enough to not get hit, and then if I cannot do that, cheat to put you on a negative. He will not be using the old ways because the damage that's coming in is going to be 1 damage min anyway, and he doesn't want to take damage, so we will not be doing that. But we will be using all the cards as we possibly can, and if this goes off correctly, we're going to take him down. So here we go. We're going to kick everything off with Jebediah. Now that we've seen that we have the 12 crows in hand, we are going to ride with me, targeting Sammy. So here we go. We go up here, we got a 9 of tomes. This is always really scary for me, the first flip, because the Black Joker is your make it or break it card. If you flip the Black Joker on anything in here, you're only flipping for important things, and a Black Joker will destroy the entire combo. It's incredibly fragile, but once you get started, it's also fairly resilient. So we're going with Jebediah. We take 5 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We take Sammy with us. We're gonna put Sammy on the front end. We're gonna cheat this crow, and we're gonna pop up 2-inch aura, and we're gonna dump this pit trap as far down as we can. All right, so that's his bonus action. Sammy has not activated. We're gonna leave you there. And now Jebediah is going to interact to drop a ski marker, and then is going to interact again to pull the ski marker off. Som'er's aura says when a friendly big hat model pulls it off, so I don't think he needs access or visibility to the ski marker itself. So he just really needs access to visibility to Jebediah. Bayou Gremlin number 1 is going to be the one laying the beat down on the second one. So we're going to summon outside of the pit trap. That is activation 1, scheme, activation 2, pull it up. We need to discard a card to make that happen. I'm going to keep masks in my hand for just emergency cases, and I'm going to start filtering out low cards. That is our first summon. Our opponent gets, Euri gets a pass token. Now we move on. The rest of it's just setting up our auras, so bear with me for just a sec. Okay, so now that we've gone through kind of the unpack more or less, we have discarded 2 cards. We've cheated 1 because we needed to cheat 1 for Jebediah's Pit Trap. We discarded 2 cards to summon 2 models. Our opponent has 2 pass tokens because of those gremlins in play, neither of which have activated at this point. I'm not going to do anything with the Skeeters now. This is, again, just for demonstration purposes, and the Skeeter was going to be available to beat up Sammy for cards if we needed it. Now, this is where things start. It's really cool. I really love the resiliency of this, was kind of why I'm so excited about it. You'll see Bo Fishbucker came over here and dropped a scheme marker. Lenny just walked up. Let's give him some focus. Why not? Let's give Sammy some focus. Actually, we don't even need Sammy to activate at this point, so we'll just leave Sammy alone. You're just there to take stray shots. So what we do is we take Bayou Gremlin number 1, and bear with me that this is so far zoomed out. I did need a little bit more screen real estate in order to show you the cards correctly and be able to cheat these. So I'll try my best to call out who's doing what when, and we will eventually get to a point where there's just going to be a shorthand and we're going to be doing some repetition and it'll be really easy to follow. So Bayou Gremlin number 1 comes over and charges. Bonk, we're in base contact. Now we are going to hit our attack. That's great that we have a mask, but we need to cheat in order to trigger Bo Fishbucker's or a loss in the Bayou, so we're going to do that. We're going to use Lenny's Gremlin General. We have a 3 plus a mask. We will be declaring the always eating trigger. We are relenting, obviously, so we flip 3 cards, pick the worst, no black joker. We do min damage of 1. This Bayou Gremlin dies. We're going to drop a corpse marker underneath it just for visibility's sake and pull this model off. This gremlin has died, so we're going to draw a card off of its death from the cannon fodder. We'll reset its stats back up to 2. It's no longer on the board. And then we discard a card because of always eating. Now removes a scheme marker within 3 inches of the model. Spit Hog is turning this corpse marker into a scheme marker. So this corpse will come off, and then we will summon a Bayou Gremlin. I'm going to summon it outside of the pit trap. Now we pull this off. Because Bo Fishbucker saw me cheat, it's not enemy only. We're going to move ourselves barely into base contact here to put ourselves on 1 wound and injured 1. So that's the end of this activation. Now we're going to be going back and forth and doing this in repetition until we account for the black joker. This infinite is the most resilient when you have patience and you don't gamble. So if we're here not to gamble, we're here to try and take down Euri with a handful of cards. And what that means is that we will cycle our cards. That one time we get a look at a card after killing a Bayou Gremlin, we will be hopefully pulling the black joker. If we don't, we're most likely going to see it on one of our attacks or one of our damage flips. And either way, we will still be able to get ourselves into the pit trap at 1 health. Always try and, if possible, where possible, keep a mask in your hand for emergency purposes. And now that we're done with that, we still need to discard in order to summon that Bayou Gremlin off the side. I'm going to be dropping this moderate back in. We give our opponent another pass token because we summoned this guy. We do have 1 more AP, but we're not doing anything, like I said, because we need the trigger to pull off from the other Bayou Gremlin. Now we repeat. Bayou Gremlin comes in and charges. Ideally, we're actually summoned in base contact, so let's do that instead. So we're just going to bash the other gremlin. We flip the attack. We're still looking for the black joker. We cheat with Lenny's Gremlin General. We mask. We flip 3 cards. We do not find the black joker. 1 damage here. Drop the corpse. Move this off. Reset. Declare the always eating. Spit Hog is size 2, so the Spit Hog can see over top of these Bayou Gremlins who are size 1. which means this corpse is legal to be turned into a scheme marker. This comes off the board. Before that happens, we draw a card from this guy dying. It's not the Black Joker, unfortunately. We discard a card. We summon a new Bayou Gremlin. Move the corpse. Bo Fishbacher sees us. Pushes us into the pit trap. Okay. Let's do a little bit faster now. Bayou Gremlin goes. We charge. We attack. No Black Joker. We Gremlin General. 3 cards, pick the worst. Still no Black Joker. We kill. Drop the corpse. Pull this off. Draw the card from dying. Discard a card to summon. Summon base contact. Summon up top. Remove the corpse. Give the pass token. And both throws us into the pit trap. It's a lot. Do nothing with their second AP. We're still hunting. We're halfway through our deck. All right, we finally found it. Attack. Bayou 2 card with Lenny as Gremlin General, giving me the mask. Found the mask. Didn't get to do any damage. We're still down to 1 and 1 injured. So now we just get to do our second one. Unfortunately, we're at the 5. We're in the bottom 5 cards of this deck, which means we're gonna keep going until we either draw the Black Joker again on the second time through the deck, or we are going to flip it on an attack or sometime early. So this means that we will not be doing Bo Fishbachers once per activation. Shove me into the pit trap. We will attack a second time. This is why you keep a mask in your hand. Attack a second time. We did not get a mask up the top. We're going to cheat the mask in order to get the always eating trigger. Again, 3 cards, pick the worst. Is good enough. Back through the cycle again. Drop the corpse, kill the bottle. Draw a card. Discard a card to summon. Give a pass token. And now this time, we are going to shove ourselves into the pit trap. Send it back, shuffle it, charge. Because we got the mask on this one, we don't need to do the Gremlin General thing, so we're going to save it just in case we Black Joker the damage again. Real quick, this is still safe even though it's not ideal. If you get a mask on your first attack, you still really want to cheat because Bo Fishbacher will push you automatically into the pit trap. However, if you do get a mask and you kill on your first flip, then you're just going to have to spend your second action walking into the pit trap to set up the guaranteed kill. So I'm going to pause here because I want to talk about why I'm keeping this 12. The 12 is in my hand because I want to hopefully connect on an attack with a wild shot where I can do 1 damage to Sammy and then draw a card off of that. But if I do not get the Black Joker accounted for soon or something like that, we'll have to deal with whatever happens there. I'm still going to need to prioritize masks just in case I Black Joker damage, and I've already used Lenny's free mask. Okay, we finally found it. Okay, halfway through the deck, I guess it's not too bad. We will now need to cheat one of these masks. I dumped my 12 Rams earlier, so unfortunately that's how that's gonna have to work. We cheat this, now we kill on 3, pick the worst. So now we can actually do something with our deck because we have 20 cards left. I'll show you in a minute. Let's finish this cycle. Okay, so now we're in a situation where phase 2 can essentially kick in. We have the Black Joker accounted for, therefore we're not gonna break our combo. We've done 11 summons through this whole cycle, and now if Euri is within 10 inches, which he should be, so he's barely like 2 inches outside of his deployment zone at this point, we have two activations. First, we want to guarantee that we have another one going. So let's start off as normal. We're going to charge this guy. So I actually got the order of operations backwards here. Once we're in phase 2 or after we've accounted for the Black Joker, we actually want to take our shot on Euri first, because we can always guarantee we will Bayou 2 card and get a mask from Lenny. So you'll actually see the consequences of me messing that up and how I recover from it. So doing it incorrectly this way is pretty helpful to teach why it's important to do it in the other way around. All right. Now, we don't want to go into the pit trap from this one. We want to cheat this 13, and that'll put us at a 17 total. If Euri doesn't want to get hit, he needs a 13 or a 14 himself. This is a pretty big gamble for us. We really need to hit Sammy at some point for more cards, but we're going to do it. So we're attacking Euri for the first time. Oi, there's a 13. We unfortunately absolutely have to cheat. So we're going to do a couple different things on the next activation. This guy did not get summoned in the pit trap, as he's not supposed to, but we have to cheat this and lose. 17 to 18. Sucks. So now that we cheated, Bo gets to push us into the damage. Same thing as usual, guarantee a one-hit kill. So now we go back to this other one that hasn't activated, and we are going to boomstick Sammy. Sammy's going to relent. And that is a ram, unfortunately. We don't want to pump additional damage into Sammy, and we don't want to do additional damage around the crew. So that is going to be 3 cards pick the worst. And we moderate flip. So Sammy takes 2 damage. And we draw a card. Sammy gets glowy and fast. And we drew a 12 of tomes. Next, we charge our other gremlin and we do the cycle as normal. So now we're going to start incorporating damage on Sammy into this, and hopefully we only ping 4 more times to refill our hand. We're back in the cycle again. We've got a Black Joker in our deck. We have to play it safe again. So here we go. Whoops. I got so much in the flow of doing the other way, I forgot I'm supposed to be hitting Sammy. So we'll start this next one by attacking Sammy. We're going to boomstick Sammy. Actually, no, we're not supposed to boomstick Sammy first. This is so complicated. It's so hard to keep track. I'm going to have a cheat sheet for you at some point on this so you don't mess up like I do. If we boomstick Sammy, we do damage, and then the Black Joker is in our deck, we still run the risk of breaking our own cycle again by Black Jokering damage on the gremlin. So what we have to do is the other way around, where we want to hit the gremlin first and guarantee the kill, and then take a shot on Sammy, maybe or maybe not flipping the Black Joker in any of those Sammy attacks or damage. But the most important thing is that we maintain our infinite summon cycle, and for that we need to prioritize killing the gremlins first and foremost before we start doing anything else while we're in phase 1. Phase 1 again being Black Joker is unaccounted for and somewhere floating in our deck. You get lucky every now and then. So we're at 17 to a 7. Euri would like to not get hit. He does not have the ability to not get hit, so he will mitigate that as best he can. So I need a 7 or better to put him on a negative. All right, so we're on a negative down here. We declare the wild shot. So this is a 1, 2, 3 blast. So we're going 2 goes up to 3 damage. And we take 1 damage on Sammy, who gets yet another glowy. Draws me a card. Euri has taken a 3 damage from a gremlin. Now the Black Joker's back in play. Sammy has 2 health left. We will flip 1 for the attack. We are going back to guaranteeing our cycle because we need to make sure that we play around the Black Joker until we have it in our hand. Okay, as we come to the end of this sped up section, we are going to hit the Black Joker on damage. So we're going to do it again. We're going to cheat this mask in. Attack. Cheat in the mask because we didn't flip it. Now that we found the Black Joker, we're going to go back to shooting Euri. Shoot Euri for 1. So we're at a 16 total to Euri's 12. Euri would be at a 17 to not get hit, so we miss. We charge. So before I start this activation, we have 8 cards left in our deck. If I shoot Euri, that's 1 card, we're down to 7. We assume we're going to be on a negative, 6-5. Then we actually need 5 cards in order to continue the cycle. So 5, 6, 7, 8. That is exact change. So if I have 8 cards here, I will hopefully be able to continue. So I'm going to shoot Euri with this gremlin. We miss greatly. That's completely fine. Now we charge. All right, 1 card left. We're back to just maintaining our cycle. So, oh boy, we found it, folks. We finally drew the black joker off of the demise cannon fodder. So we're pitching our last card here. We've got 2 wounds left on Sammy. Now we can start to really focus and guarantee that we're taking shots on Euri every turn. It only took us 22 turns to get here, but we're here. So let's see. We did the cheat. We're going to do the normal piece where we get back in here. I'm going to start being better about my bookkeeping now again, now that we're past all this. And we're in essentially phase 2. So that happens. We're not going to do anything there. We're going to go with this gremlin over here and take a shot at Euri. Euri is, we are meeting him. We're at 16 to a 16. He has no cards that he can cheat us into any better, not get hit, like I said before, and nothing to put us on negatives. We'll flip 3 cards. We had a mask. The mask trigger is to push me towards the target. I'm not going to declare that. This is going to be min damage of 1. Now we go back to charging. Take a shot at Euri. We miss. Shoot at Euri. Still miss. Shoot at Euri. Hey, 9 to 9. He does not want to get hit, like I said, so he'll cheat up to 10. And I miss. Take a shot at Euri. So we're at a 10 to a 7. He will go up to an 11 to not get hit. 7 card hand down to 2. Shot at Euri. Euri is taking damage. We're at 15 to a 9, and he cannot do any better. That's going to be a difference of 6. Straight flip. Main damage. We're not going to declare the crow trigger on that, which is screwed the hooch. Discard a random card, then draw a card. Euri just takes 1 more ping damage. And now that we're at the bottom of the deck with the black joker in our hand, I'm going to take a shot at Euri and not have to worry about it. We miss. Shoot Euri. We miss. Shoot at Euri. We miss. Shoot at Euri. Oh, we hit. This would be a diff of 3. This would be negative twist. Moderate severe. 2 damage on Euri. Attack Euri. Oh my gosh, we tied. 3 cards pick the worst. Man damage 1. This is an attack on Euri. We miss. Shoot Euri. Sorry. We miss. Shoot Euri. We like it, but we're not going to take the trigger. Euri cannot beat that. This is going to be a 16 to an 8. Difference of 8. Straight flip. Red Joker? No. Oh well. 1 damage. Shoot Euri. Oh boy. Euri takes 5 to a 7, so we miss. That was almost funny. Shoot Euri. Nope. Shoot Euri. $14 to a 6. Looks like a straight flip to me. I will declare wild shot. +1 damage on Euri, and then I will ping Sammy for damage. Red Joker. Oh my. So 3 goes up to 4. Euri goes down to hard to kill. Sammy takes damage. We draw a card. Charge. Shoot Euri. You gotta connect on 1. Not this one. It's getting close. Shoot Euri. We miss. Shoot Euri. Nope. Not working. Oh, almost. Almost had him. Almost had him. Shoot Euri. 9 and 5 puts me at a 13 to a 10. No cheats. Negative twist. And just because I want to, I will end it with a final cheat for a 16 to a 10 for a straight flip. 1 damage. And Euri goes down. That, my friends, is the end of it. It took us 37 summons. And your next turn, you're not going to win initiative. I'm sorry. But the Gremlin cycle, when the enemy has no activations, is clearly really strong. So like I said at the top of this video, this is, for me, it's purely academic. I think this is really cool to be able to call out and point out how we actually have an infinite combo. It really relies on a lot of overlapping auras, different auras. Spithog, Som'er, the Bowfish Bacher, and Lenny. They are all critical, but those are also pretty big and wide-reaching auras, especially when you bring your own hazardous. So the pit traps with Jebediah in keyword are pretty great because Jebediah can roll up, like I said, like I showed you at the top, and summon a gremlin to get things going. As soon as you have the Black Joker in hand, nothing else matters. You just go through the motions and just keep going and going and going. So I heard about this one. I thought it was insane, and it truly is. I hope you enjoyed this one, and it's not recommended. Again, I'm going to put more flashing warnings on here. Don't do this. It's not fun for your opponent. And I even kind of got bored showing this and demonstrating this because I was curious to see how far I would have to go in a practical situation. 37 is nuts. And we hit the Black Joker a fair few times. Every time it was on damage. One of the best ways to hit the Black Joker is when you Gremlin General for your attack, you get a Black Joker, but it counts with zeros. However, since you're relenting against your own model, you still get the mask trigger because Lenny is giving you a mask to your final dual total. I'm still kind of mentally unpacking this one a little. It took a little while to record, so hopefully the editing process brought this down to something bite-sized for you. I'm curious to see how Weird is going to go about adjusting or fixing this. Honestly, I think the easiest way would just be to make Bayou Gremlins mindless. Full stop. That wouldn't do too much. They still force the discard on the pass token, secondary turns after they've been summoned. But yeah, you can do always eating once or twice, and that's nice. But it would absolutely just turn this whole thing off. So, case to turn Bayou Gremlins mindless? We'll see. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video. I know it's been a long one, and it is by far the most complicated video I've put out on the channel to date. Here's that cheat sheet I promised halfway through the video. So if you're a stat nerd like me, here's some fun stats that stood out to me during the editing process. We ended up shuffling our deck 6 times from the beginning to the end, and just because there was so much going on screen, I was not accurate on my pass token count. We summoned 48 times. And even that, I'm not even 100% sure. It might even be more. And finally, if you're unlucky on your first hand and you don't draw a 6 of crows or better for Jebediah's Ride With Me to get the trigger, you get 2 chances for Pet Illusions, which is once per activation. So you can come in with your Skeeters, smack Sammy, draw a card. Maybe you get lucky there. But after doing some thinking on it, of course, you could even try to make this even more resilient by doing the following. Hire a Bayou Gremlin in your original list. You draw your cards, you don't get your 6 of crows. You activate Sammy, summon another gremlin. Interact, drop a scheme, interact, pick it up, discard a card to summon a gremlin. You put those gremlins amongst all the same overlapping auras that we would do it as demonstrated in the video. And now you start card cycling with killing Bayou Gremlins, where you can filter your hand based off of the cannon fodder demise. But you're going to either need to swing twice, which is pretty risky, or you're going to need to cheat moderates in order to get access to a new card. So you repeat until you get the 6 of crows, and then you unpack and resume the cycle as demonstrated in the video. I'm just not entirely sure if the benefits outweigh the risk on that for hitting the Black Joker. There's a whole lot more here as far as theoryfauxing and putting stuff together, but my brain is already in a blender, and this one was already fun to walk through. So experiment with it on your own. If you can make it more efficient, that's cool. Drop a comment, let me know how you did it. As usual, have fun, be a good opponent. See you in the next one.